Hi, it's Paul from Hench Herbivore with this week's Q&A. We've had a few more questions this week, so I'm going to split this video over 2 parts and release it over the next few days. Question number 1. Mike asks, if you had to name 5 essential foods, what would they be? So for calories, I would say tropical fruits, bananas, papaya, mangoes, pineapple. If I had to pick one, probably I'd say dates. So to get enough volume of food in, dates really are your friend. If like me, you're eating 6,000 calories, like in smoothies and things. So we'll say dates number 1. Also dark leafy green vegetables. So your kale, spinach, chard, etc. Any of those. And so we're looking for the mineral content there, vitamin K, a good whack of non-heme iron, which is more beneficial than the heme iron, which can lead to cancer. Berries for antioxidants, legumes for protein, so beans, chickpeas, lentils, split peas, all of those. And lastly, flax seeds or chia seeds for the omega-3. As a vegan, you want your omega-3 and 6 in a kind of a 1-to-1 ratio, or you risk heart disease. You don't want that. Cool. Okay, Elton asks, how did the diet improve your tendonitis? So there's a couple of mechanisms at work. Most of the plant foods are alkaline rather than being acidifying, which is anti-inflammatory. And also, as I said earlier, I balance my omega-3 and 6. Omega-3 is anti-inflammatory. Omega-6, although we do need some of it as it's an essential fatty acid, is pro-inflammatory. So again, as I say, for a vegan, get that in a 1-to-1 ratio, and that will really bring down inflammation throughout your body. Most people eat far too much omega-6, and that is what leads to the problems. I would say if your tendonitis is bad, get out of the gym for like 3 weeks, like let it calm down. Tendonitis is inflamed fibres rubbing against each other. So if you stop that part, hopefully it'll start to bring it down. You can treat it with ice, as I say, get your nutrition really alkaline and get your omega-3 and 6 in balance. And it should go away really. Christy asks, how do you feel about breakfast cereals? So cereals, grains, not the most nutritious food in the world. Emphasize more of your fruits and vegetables, but they're not harmful. Whole grains are seen to be beneficial in a lot of different ways. I would avoid glutinous wheat, rye, barley for most people. It does seem to do harm. And so the cereals, if I eat a breakfast cereal, I choose to eat oats. I'll make porridge with some dried fruit, mixed berries, that sort of thing. Again, I'll sprinkle some fine ground flax seeds on there. And we also have a puffed brown rice cereal. Obviously I would avoid all the sugar-laden, highly processed cereals. And yeah, so it's a starch, it won't do you harm, but I like to emphasise more the fruits and veggies the majority of the time. James asks, how many calories do I eat in a day and why? So training days at the minute 6,000 calories, non-training 5,500 calories. The reason I'm eating those is simply because I'm trying to grow some muscle at the minute, and if I eat much less than that, it will be just maintenance and I'll be spinning my wheels. Okay, so the next question, the next 2 questions really can be answered in one answer. So question from Alison, best way to get rid of fat from the stomach area. And a question from Maria, as an ex-NPC level bodybuilder doing all the wrong things, how can I adjust my diet to lose fat? So the first thing, so Alison, you can't spot reduce fat on your body. It has to come off your body as a whole. Unfortunately, we tend to accumulate more fat in that area. You can adjust that possibly somewhat by adjusting your hormones. If your cortisol is high, you'll tend to store even more fat there. So look to reduce stress and try not to use stimulants in your diet, things like that. And so this style of eating is called high carb, low fat. So you want your carbs to be minimum 80% of your calories and your fat to be no more than 10% of your calories. That's good for fat loss because as a species, carbohydrate is our specific preferred fuel source, and we can burn off excess carbohydrate by way of dietary thermogenesis. You'll notice if you eat a lot of carbohydrate, you'll suddenly really warm up. So that's your body's way of maintaining equilibrium. You can go high fat, low carb. Historically, I guess, when we moved from the equator where we evolved eating this way, and then you had the winter season, and then things weren't so available and we had to eat, higher fat. We can survive like that, but I don't think we can thrive like that. And you can lose body fat that way, but you're not getting enough nutrition in, and it's not a diet of health. So as I say, I prescribe high carb, low fat. On this type of diet, the fat you eat is the fat you wear. Keep it to 10% and less of your total calories. And of course, the other thing for fat loss, you just need to be in a slight caloric deficit so that you're burning off more calories than you're taking on board. And finally, for this section, Wendy asks, if you don't eat anything naughty, then what's your treat? So my treat is excellent health, just full of health and vitality, just really happy and positive, just feel really, really good. By not eating like the odd bit of, pardon my French, crap here and there, I've reset my taste buds, so I actually enjoy the food that I do eat immensely, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, and of course it helps that I have an excellent chef at home as well. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for episode 2.